Every so often we get an intermittent problem with televisions that come into the workshop, but I think we know what the problem is here. It is pouring down. Just as I came out to the workshop. Pouring down. Got a little treat for those people, you know, those people who like me repairing Philips TVs. We've done 2 in the last week. I've picked up another 2 today. I'm not doing them tonight. They're going to have to jump in the queue. And they may get done Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, sometime. But it's just a coincidence that these Philips are just turning up all of a sudden. And one of the models is a model that I think I did a couple of days ago with a similar fault. Anyway, let's look at this old baby. Used to really like these. An original Panasonic, nice original design. Now this of course is going to be a few years old now. In fact, I would say it's about 12 years old, 10, 12 years old, something like that. So, whether it can be fixed or not, I don't know, but we're going to have a go. I was just looking where to plug it in, but it's already got a plug on. As soon as I lifted it up, I saw a blink of that light. Look at the bezel. The days of a beautiful bezel. But again, that could have been blinking because I think the switch is down there. Is it raining, darling? Is it? Is it? Are you wet? Let me get your cushion. Pouring down outside, isn't it? Look how wet she's got the television. She's just come in and shook herself. Right. As I was saying, on these older models, the switch used to be down there. So that's possibly why I saw a glimpse of it. So let me just stick the TV t'other way around and see if that's going to make any difference. Was I right? No, the switches are on the side. And it's probably going to be your side just here. Yes. It's there, look. So let me adjust this so it's the right way round. I don't know why there was a flicker of the red light though if it's not switched on, but we'll have a look. Lots of people love these sets because it was one of the early sets that you could put an SD card in and watch some movies that you would have got from the internet that you would have paid for in full, of course. Right, switch is there. And it goes into standby. So what's wrong with that? And it says it's coming on. And it's come on. Do you think he doesn't know about the switch? I'll put the lights on. A lot of people did get caught out with the switch. Let's try again. Well, the story with this television is, my dad's had it for ages. One day it wouldn't come on. I took the back off it, gave it a very good clean. Then it came on. Then I gave it to my dad, delivered it back to my dad, and it didn't come on. I'm wondering, if you are carrying it like this, which you possibly are, you are, of course, hitting the switch. Switch it back on. I mean, I'm not saying it is that. This does have a backlight short fault, which is very easy to fix. You have to take the back of it, but you don't have to take the screen out. And that's what I thought this was going to be. But now I don't think this is going to be that. I think they're unaware of the switch on the side, because it was in the off mode when I got it. If when cleaning it and carrying it, he switched it back on, he said to himself, oh, I fixed it now, I'll give it back to my dad. And then when carrying it back to his dad's and said, it's all fixed, Dad, there you go, he switched it off again. His dad has plugged it in and it's done nothing. Because, of course, if you switch that off, you won't get a standby light. You just won't. The only way to get a standby light on that is to switch it on at the switch and then switch it off with a remote control. And that's when you get... I'll just show you. That's when the green light turns to red. I'm sure you can see, but I'm just switching off anyway. I reckon that's what's happened. Let me just switch it on again from that. Lovely televisions, these. They were great televisions. The software on these were great. Don't think Panasonic have ever bettered these. They were full HD. They weren't Freeview HD. So the only way to get an HD signal was, of course, to stick an HDMI in. There is a chance that I'm wrong and it's got an intermittent fault, but if it's got an intermittent fault, I'll have to wait for it to happen because it's got an intermittent fault. But the fact that it keeps coming on and off and it works and it doesn't says to me that he's been carrying it and holding that switch. And every time he's held that in a certain position, he switched it on and off. Don't you think? I don't think there's anything wrong with this. Apart from it's been misted. Nice of her to help clean it. The bezel dates it. But if it's not going fronting in front... Hello, I'm speaking a different language. If it's not going fronting in fault of my eyes... If it's not going faulty in front of my eyes, then I can't fix it. But I think the reason why... I think his dad has switched it off. Maybe moved it, switched it off. And then I think son has come, moved it to his shed in his house and switched it on. And just holding it. This is what we call in the trade an NFF. And that means no fault found. But I'm going to leave it here over the course of the weekend. Let's just see what happens when I stick in my PC HDMI which one we're going to go to. Is there a HDMI down the side? Yeah, HDMI down the side. Will it give us a PC? It'll probably give us some flicker and some lines. It's not going to be HDMI 1, is it? I doubt very much it's going to be 2. I think it's 4. Media server. That would be that card, I'm guessing. I can't remember now. A long time ago since I played with one of these. HDMI 4, you're going to give us a picture? No, you're not. Okay. I thought I plugged that in HDMI 4. Well, whatever you plugged it into, it doesn't like it. Let's go back again. Maybe it is HDMI 1, but I don't think so. The one down the side? No. Nothing. Nothing. No. I'm guessing that because it's a 4K picture coming into that, it's just not changing the resolution. But I would have thought there'd have been a message on the screen saying can't change the resolution. Ah well. That's not the fault. The fault could be with the owner. It's a shame it's not the fault I thought it was, because very few people know about the fault that I thought it was. So I was going to show you a bit of a magic trick tonight. But sometimes we get things like this. So many times we've had call-outs from people not realising that Panasonics have always got an isolation switch. They're not needed in the UK. They're not legal in the UK. Oh, sorry, they're not illegal in the UK. So you don't have to have an isolation switch on televisions here. Europe, maybe. I don't think so. No, you don't. In the States, you probably do. I'm not too sure. But people they don't see it. It doesn't stick out. They don't tend to use the buttons down the side. I say no fault found. Well, that was a quick video. Can I go and have a cup of coffee now? Can I finish work? Can I finish work early, miss? Can I? That would be lovely if I could. Oh well. Lots of people have been saying recently we haven't seen Misty, so there you go. They want to see you, Misty. So that's it. Thank you very much. I'm sorry it wasn't an exciting video, but sometimes I come into this workshop and I decide I'm going to work on a TV, and that's the TV I decided I'm going to work on, and I fixed it. And of course, I will be charging the owner the relevant amount of dollars. Don't know what to do now. Suppose we better look at the Sony, hadn't we? Yeah, Sony. Got Sony to look at. Let's edit this video, Misty, and we'll put out the Sony. Okay? You alright with that? Good girl.